Last year, we had 3 clients that came back with skiing related injuries. They were on ski trips, they took falls, and then they ended up having injuries that we had to fix with them. And so we wanted to put together a video specifically on what you should do to prevent falls, work on stability just before you go on a ski trip. So let's get into it. First thing we got to do is we got to test our single leg stability, because when we're skiing, we're shifting on one side. I can't do it because my body stays in the middle, right? And then I'm sliding out to the side, driving my skis together and out, and I'm on the outside of my right ski and on the inside of my left. And then I flip the other way and I'm on the inside. So my body's staying in the middle. So I need to have really good hip stability to have that drive out there. So a good test for you is to get in the mirror and stand like this and get my chest down, butt back, and then watch this knee. Does this knee teeter around and do this over and over? If it does that, then we don't have enough stability. So I should be able to stand here and do this little tap. I'm doing the tap just to catch my balance, catch my balance, catch my balance, catch my balance. I'm not doing a weight shift over, back and forth. I'm staying on one leg, and you're gonna feel a burn in that leg. This is also an exercise, but it's a great test to see what your hip stability is at, especially if you're going skiing. So I'm gonna hold this right here, I'm gonna watch this knee, and I'm trying to keep it outside the second toe and behind the toes. If you're able to do that and it doesn't move around at all, these exercises aren't for you. If you're not able to do that, then we have some perfect exercises for you to progress up to before you go on your ski trip. We're gonna fix this problem for you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on any videos that are sports specific, staying out of pain, getting out of pain, and then keeping yourself out of pain. Each one of these exercises is gonna have a progression, so we gotta make sure that we're starting at the bottom level and make sure that we're moving up through that. So from the beginning, we're gonna go onto the table and we're gonna do clamshells, we're gonna do a side lying leg raise. So I'm gonna run through these fairly quickly. So I'm laying down right here. I'm gonna roll my hip forward, my knees 2 inches in front of my bottom knee. So top knee 2 inches in front of my bottom knee, but it's happening because my hips roll forward right here. And I stay in a neutral position with my spine. I'm gonna lift that leg up. The first progression is to put a band on, and then the next progression would be to make the band more challenging. But you see that I'm not coming up like this. I can come up further, but as soon as my hip stops moving, I'm just moving through my other hip. I'm rolling back and I'm taking that stress off of my glute. So I wanna stay here and just come up to where I can squeeze my glute really good. And I hold that for 30 seconds. We do it for 2 sets. If it's too easy, then you can move on to the next ones. The second exercise is gonna be straightening this leg out, keeping my core tight, and I push up and back with that leg. So I start in the same position with 2 inches in front, because the 2 inches in front with the top knee is actually what my hip position is doing. So I come here, tightening my core so I don't do this with my back as I come up, tightening my core, and then I'm rolling forward, tightening the core, hold it, and then lift that leg up, push up and back, and squeeze right there. Not coming up like this because I'm rolling out of that tension position. I want to hold it right here and squeeze that glute as good as I can. Same thing, we're going to do 2 sets of 30 seconds. We're going to hold that, maintaining the core the entire time. Now a progression, we get rid of those 2 exercises. So the reason why we do 2 is our glute does external rotation, it does abduction, and it also does extension. And so our clamshell is going to do external rotation and abduction. It doesn't do extension. Our side lying leg raise will do extension and abduction, but it really doesn't do external rotation. So we got 2 exercises to get all the functions of the glute so we can really fire up all the fibers. Now this exercise is a standing fire hydrant. So I come right here and I'm gonna hinge back, and then I have my hand on something so I can lean over. I'm gonna push my leg back and then out, and then I'm gonna drop that foot down and I'm gonna squeeze right here. The progression is to put a band right there. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do a 30-second hold. I'm squeezing that glute as best I can, and my back's not up, my head's not up like crazy. I don't want back extension. I don't want my back extensors to help me. That's the goal. I need my primary muscle to be these glutes here. And that stance leg is really working hard. So there's an argument to say that the stance leg is working harder than this leg that's up, but I am making sure that I'm getting the best movement right here. Remember, with this stance leg, I want to be outside the second toe and behind the toes the entire time, and then squeezing. I'm getting extension, abduction and external rotation by dropping that foot, and then I'm squeezing it as hard as I can. I'm doing that for 30 seconds, and I'm gonna do 2 on each side. I'm sweating now. Well, we're gonna get into it. We gotta get more exercises in. So that single leg stance toe tap, that test we did, you've done those exercises. Typically it takes about 2 to 3 weeks to do each one of these progressions because it takes 2 to 4 weeks to get motor activation. So let's shorten it and say, we got 2 weeks of doing the clamshell and the sideline leg raise, and we got 2 weeks of doing the standing fire hydrant, and then we go back to our single leg stance toe tap. So I come back to that, I'm here, and I'm kicking out to the side like this, and I'm maintaining that stability because you've built that foundation. That's what's really important. We got to scale it back to build the foundation so we can do this exercise really effectively. We do 10 taps, we switch, we do that for 2 sets. I'm gonna show you from the side. I'm coming here, kicking my butt back, chest is down, face in line with my chest. I'm kicking out to the side, just tapping and maintaining that stability. All the work's happening on that stability leg. Remember, knees behind the toes, knee outside the second toe, and you're gonna get a lot of activation of that glute. Some other standing exercises that are really good is a carpet ripper. So we get here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my weight over to the right side. Actually, I'm gonna do my left side because my right glute's actually burning really bad. So I'm gonna do my left side. I'm gonna hip hinge back, and then I'm gonna get this leg out to the side, and I'm pushing with this leg, pushing this foot out. So carpet ripper, because we're actually trying to split the carpet apart. So you can see inside my shoe that I'm driving my feet out to the side. So when I do this exercise, I'm coming here so I have more leverage to push with that right leg. And then I'm getting down in that hinge position. This is pushing off and I'm resisting with this leg. Same thing, I'm gonna do 30-second holds. I wanna do isometrics with these because I wanna fire up as many fibers as possible. So then when you go into the gym, you can use more of those muscles with the isotonic stuff that you'll be doing. Here's where we get directly into the skiing related stuff. We need to do a modified skier first. So a lot of times I'll set up some cones, but just think about just going just outside your shoulders, your base of support. So I'm coming here. When I drive over, I don't want my knee to come in. I don't want my hip outside my knee. I want to be here. So same thing with skiing, how our weight is, our weight is in the middle and we're shifting and gliding out and then we're gliding out. This is the same thing with the dynamic skier. We're going to do a modified dynamic skier first. So I come here and I drive over and I'm stopping. This is putting on the brakes. So I want to do this. I want to do 10 taps and I'm not doing this and twisting around just yet. That's not what's important. What's important is that I can stop my momentum and that my knee is outside my hip right here. I'm driving off, stopping my momentum, stopping, 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 stopping. And I'm gonna do 10. I'll always do 2 sets of everything. This is a lot of exercises, so we wanna make sure we're firing up all the right muscles. We do 2 sets. Our first set is a warm up. It's just firing up, making sure we're doing the right stuff. And then the second one should be challenging. Now the last exercise is a full dynamic skier. This is a difficult exercise. We have to make those progressions first. So we fired up all the glute muscles. We are going to do that modified skier, and then we're gonna just make it wider. So I'm gonna come here, I'm driving over to the side and stopping my momentum, and I'm tapping right here. I'm not going way underneath myself because that's ice skating. That's not skiing. That's ice skating. And we don't need to challenge ourselves to be able to keep that knee stability when we're twisting up on it. That's gonna put us in a bad position. So what we wanna do is drive over to the side and stop our momentum, and I don't wanna jump up. It's not an up movement, it's going to the side. And we talk about this all the time with our clients, and I'm sorry I'm out of breath. I've been doing a lot of these exercises. What I want is I want to drive to the side. It's about having that power to drive to the side and then having that stopping power. If you think about it with skiing, you're stopping yourself. You're going down a mountain with elevation. You're stopping your momentum, right? So we're working on putting on the brakes. That's why it's so challenging and why so many people get injured is that they're not working on putting on the brakes. So with this exercise, it's really important that you're thinking about stopping your momentum each time and keeping that foot on the inside, and my weight stays in the middle while I'm doing it, and I'm maintaining that. This is a 6-week progression. So We need to ramp up over 6 weeks. You may make the judgment calls, right? But typically each stage is about 2 weeks, and then we progress up, and you got to make sure that you have good form with it. So refer back to this video. If you feel like you need more bridges in there, more progressions in the in-between, leave us a comment and let us know. We'll post a video for that. We want to make sure that we're helping you going in this ski trip. We don't want people hurt, right? We want you to get better. So this dynamic skier is a big high-level exercise. So make sure that you're getting to the dynamic skier before you hit the slopes. Now, these exercises are universal for hip health, low back health, knee health, and ankle health. If you get to a dynamic skier, you're not going to have a lot of those problems. And if you do tweak it, you're going to be able to get out of it very quickly. So it's really important that we have these progressions. We fire through the hips. Our glutes are firing really well. We have good stopping power. If you do this stuff, you're going to be in really good shape. Make sure to check out the other videos on this page. One in particular is about back pain and sleeping. It's really important that you sleep in good positions, so make sure you check that out. We'll see you in the next video. Get mobile and stay active.